Mostly kidding here. Mostly.
Whoa!
Stop getting so buff. Never stop, but stop. But as a nosy fan, I'm like, come on, I want to see stuff.
I just want to bite him. You're so cute.
All right, round 2 of K-Pop The Cork Series 2. We're going to stick with our lovely selection of sojus. And this time we're going to go with peach.
Yes, we were pre-gaming before we recorded with a little peach icing, makgeolli. So let's keep the peach train rolling.
Yeah. Here we go. We'll get a little bit of the peach and a little bit of the peach. And just because the peach tends to have a bit of a like medicine-y taste, I'm gonna throw a splash of the regular soju in there too.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, be careful with that.
I cut myself on these literally every time, so just not even gonna. And I'm not learning and making the same
Nope.
drink and then mixing.
Well, at
Oops.
least we don't have to really mix this one. It'll
That's
be
true,
okay.
that's
No
true.
powders involved.
Yeah, it won't be grainy. Which the last one was not grainy.
No, it wasn't.
it was fine. Although the more I drink it, the more like medicine-y I thought it became. All right, and then we'll just get a little splash of lemon.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ah. Yeah. And we're ready to go. Welcome back to another episode of
K-Pop The Cork,
the show where we read your submissions and drink our favorite drinks. This month, we asked you to send in information about your K-pop bias. We asked you what your favorite thing about them was, what your least favorite thing about them was, what you would do with them if you had the afternoon to spend together, and then we asked for your favorite pictures. So this time, we are going to read all about your least favorite things about the people we love. Yes, I'm very excited. I imagine these will probably be pretty cheeky in nature because usually when we're talking about things we don't love about our biases, it's a little in jest.
Yes, of course, like things we love to hate about them. But first, let's
We'll
try
our
this new
little
drink.
peach and lemon spritz.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It kind of tastes like a flat LaCroix.
Yeah, it tastes like a peach LaCroix that you left on the table all day.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine. It's better than it tasting like peach medicine, so I'll take it.
I agree.
All right, let's get into these least favorite things. A least favorite thing about Changbin from Stray Kids is he's so buff now. He needs to be stopped.
He is very buff.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes. Stop getting so buff. Never stop, but stop.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Lino of Stray Kids. His absurd amount of bubble messages.
Oh. Well, I mean, hey, if you're paying for Bubble, maybe I guess
You're
that's
getting
the
what you're
rub. Do
paying
you
for,
want
I guess.
too many messages?
I want to know the content of these messages. Like, why is it too much?
Yeah. Least favorite thing about Becco, it's less about him specifically and more about the industry in general. But he's one of those guys who grows facial hair very quickly, but has to shave since he's an idol. It can be a bit distracting watching him and stuff and seeing his 5 o'clock shadow, sometimes through makeup, to the point where I occasionally wish it was normal for idols to have facial hair. He's also on a golfing show right now, and I just don't like that. I actually considered watching a TV show about golfing, of all things.
We watched a TV show about golfing because Nino was on it, and let me tell you, it was so boring because golfing is so boring.
Yeah, but that 5 o'clock shadow thing is very interesting. I remember the Jonas Brothers saying when they were on Disney Channel, they had to shave like 3 times a day.
Yeah, especially Joe, because his grows like so fast. And like Changmin is another idol that I think often has like a 5 o'clock shadow or something.
Yeah.
And like Some idols will make fun of other members for like, oh, he didn't shave, and it's like, it's Sungkwan, like, you can't tell. But then other times it's like, oh, Changmin, you look dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that little mustache that's coming in.
I didn't bring it up in any of the Patreon episodes because I've been complaining so much about the show and I don't want to be so negative about it, but there are certain scenes in The Fabulous, like usually night scenes, and I wondered if it was like 3 a.m. and they'd been shooting all night, where there's close-ups on Mino's face and you can see facial hair poking through his makeup, especially when he turns.
Oh.
And it's like, man, they were in a rush. This show is made poorly.
Bummer.
Bummer.
Next up is about Bobby from Icon. Nothing. He could trust his instincts a little more.
Oh, that's an encouraging
Yeah.
dislike.
But also, I feel like that's a little cutting of like that's like something you say about someone you like really know. Like, you should trust your instincts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone were to tell me that, I'd be like, oh,
What do you see?
what do you know that I don't know?
A least favorite thing about Sulky from Red Velvet, the clumsiness, because I don't want her to get hurt. That's fair.
That's fair. Least favorite thing about Moonmeal of Mamamoo, that she'll never know she was the cause of my, and I believe many others, bisexual awakening. She's the queen of non-straight girls for a reason. That's the kind of thing we love to hate.
Yeah.
But I bet she knows.
I'm sure.
I have a feeling Moonmeal knows what she's doing. She doesn't wear all those suits for nothing.
A least favorite thing about Hoshi is that he does not rest enough. Here to most idols
I was
don't
gonna
rest
say,
enough.
Yeah, for everyone. Least favorite thing about Changmin of TVXQ, that he hasn't had a Korean comeback in years.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
TVXQ Korean comeback when?
When?
A least favorite thing about Heejin from Luna. During the Luna tour, Heejin pandered to every city in her own uniquely cheesy way. From sharing a West Coast hip-hop playlist as Luna was arriving in LA, to singing Ratatouille songs in Paris and Empire State of Mind in New York. You could count on her being way too on the nose with a reference.
I like that. 10 of Wavy and NCT and Super M. Not enough solo material.
Super fair.
Agreed. The fact that I can only buy like singles that he's released. Boo.
A least favorite thing about Wendy. Sometimes her cringiness is too much. She goes too far to make a joke and can offend people instead. I feel like she needs someone there to call her out. LOL.
Yes, she has gotten herself into trouble on multiple occasions. It's true. Least favorite thing about Bang Chan. I think he's too hard on himself in a man who desperately needs therapy but is too stubborn / thinks he doesn't need it kind of way. That's never great to see. I also worry he's genuinely running himself ragged at times since he's a workaholic, but he refuses to stop even a little bit and rest. Like, if the company is suggesting you rest for health-related reasons and you still refuse, that's not a good thing in my eyes. Totally agree. He's constantly talking about how he, like, never, ever sleeps, and that's not sexy.
That's bad.
Self-care
Sleep
is
good.
hot.
Yes. A least favorite thing about Suho. He did the greenwashing thing for SM. I thought that was dumb, but he's an employee. I get it.
Greenwashing?
The
whole, like, planting trees
The planting
thing?
trees thing.
Oh, sure. Suho's a company man, y'all. Okay? He will do what it takes to get to that corporate position. Least favorite thing about Q from The Boys. He has a very high-pitched scream. And while I love it, it hurts my ears every time I hear it. I obviously could have wrote nothing, but I'm trying to be unbiased, LOL.
We appreciate the effort in finding something.
Thank you for trying. A least favorite thing about 10, he's a man.
Fair.
I love that.
Yeah. A least favorite thing about Sungkwan, I don't think I have one. Maybe I wish he had more confidence in himself. Does that count? I think that counts.
Sure.
A lot of these have been like constructive criticism.
I hope the idols watch this and take note. Least favorite thing about Bumgyu of TXT, his younger brother attitude that reminds me of my younger brother sobbing emoji. Yeah, I thought about that when we read the favorite things about Bumgyu. I was like, oh, he reminds you of your younger brother. Like, interesting. So I'm glad that made it as the least favorite thing.
Least favorite thing about J-Hope, we both love Sprite. And there can only be one ultimate Sprite lover. Mostly kidding here. Mostly knife emoji.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay, you're the Sprite.
It's you.
It's you.
It's you. All right, least favorite thing about Key of Shiny. He is just too talented and perfect at everything. Seriously, is there anything this man is bad at? Anyway, his new comeback dropped in February. It's called Killer. Everybody listen to it. It's fantastic.
Job interview answer.
Yeah, I like it. My biggest weakness is
that I
all
care
my
too
strengths.
Least favorite thing about Taemin. Bad boy Taemin does things to me and I don't like it. I used to work in retail, and when I was burned out, I had a fantasy where press your number Taemin would rob the store at gunpoint, like he does in the music video, and take me away with him in his bag. Like, I am not into bad boys. I have always been a well-behaved, good girl. I didn't even do typical rebellious teenager stuff, but give Taemin any kind of dark, bad boy, or villainous concept, and I am here for it. I hate that he brings that out in me.
So funny. Seems like such not a bad boy.
Yeah. But he sells it in the concept.
He does.
A least favorite thing about Chaeyoung from Twice, the super short haircut she had forever ago.
I don't know. I can't call it to
I
mind,
can't
but
picture it, but I believe you. A bad haircut is very memorable on a bias.
Yeah. I always think about this tweet once that was like, if your crush gets a haircut and you don't like them anymore, it wasn't really a crush. I always think about that of like, because sometimes there are idols where like I don't like them except when they have a certain hairdo.
Sure.
And then I'm like,
oh,
yes.
it's just the haircut.
And as soon as they change the hair, I'm like, I don't like you anymore.
Fair. Yeah.
Another least favorite thing about Key. Anytime he talks about eating too much or needing to lose weight or his face being too puffy. I know it's pervasive in the industry and he's been pretty open about eating disorder stuff in his past, but I wish he would be more body positive for himself and for the fans.
Hey.
It's a good one. Very serious, but a real concern.
A good gripe. Yeah. This one about Songhwa from ATEEZ. Does not being able to meet him in person count? Nah, everyone has their faults. I haven't found Songhwa's yet, but I'm sure one will pop up someday.
Maybe a too intense smolder.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think for someone.
Jaehyun from NCT, he sometimes wears glasses and makes it hard to breathe. He should consider my health.
I do love when a person suddenly wears glasses and then you're like, oh, you're so much hotter in glasses. Well, another least favorite thing about Jimin, he doesn't seem to know how to take time for himself. I hope he's been able to finally do some of that during his public service stint in the military. Well, he just took time to have dinner with Shiny.
So that's good. That's good for everyone. A least favorite thing about Bang Chan. This is probably going to sound cliche, but my least favorite thing about Bang Chan is that he works too hard. He really is married to work, like in sickness and in health, and sometimes it makes Stay worry about him, even though we benefit from all the content he gives to us. Man, all these people are really in a bind with this Bang Chan stuff.
Yeah.
We're all, what did someone call it in the first episode? Parasocial juice?
Yeah.
It's a two-way street, and like everyone is suffering for it.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
A Hoshi least favorite thing. This one is easy. A tiger Hoshi? Really? I don't think so.
Girl, you and everybody else, we're all so tired of the Hoshi Tiger agenda. Like, actually, that's not true because we got some confessions that were like, I still buy Tiger.
Yeah,
print every
people.
time I see
Some
it.
people.
Some
love
people
the tiger
aren't, but the
agenda.
members are done. I can tell you that. Ming Hao, over it. Least favorite thing about Song Kwan of 17, the way he puts himself down when he thinks he's eaten too much. Sad
Yes,
faces.
this similar negative diet culture
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I totally get
Totally.
it. Least favorite thing about Woozy, that he hasn't released What Kind of Future on Spotify or SoundCloud or anywhere. Please, I'm begging you, Woozy.
Don't worry, he'll watch this and I'm sure he'll put it out immediately.
Yeah.
Another least favorite thing about Bang Chan. If it's also about work, we have to drink twice.
Okay.
From what I heard, I'm not the biggest fan of how the whole group deals with accusations of prejudiced behavior in general. They seem to be good people, but I heard from some Black fans concerning reactions. As a Black person myself, the whole way the industry deals with their Black audience in general is complicated, and that's only what I heard. I also care about his sleep schedule or health. I worry he doesn't take enough care of himself. Ooh, interesting. I feel like there's some context here that I'm missing because I don't know enough about Stray Kids' history. I do remember when one of them had braids that they like changed. They like redid all of the photos.
I thought that was for 80s.
Oh, was that an 80s? That was back in the day when I didn't know the difference between the two, so it's entirely possible that was 80s. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Interesting.
Which might not even have been them. But very solid points about the industry in general, for sure. And a comment about him working too hard, so drink twice.
Drink twice. Least favorite thing about Mino, it should be illegal to be as handsome as he is.
Agreed! But my least favorite thing about Mino is how competitive he is.
Fair.
Least favorite thing about BM of Card, he could hang out in the gym less. Enough is enough. That's like the Changmi, you're too buff now.
Yeah.
That's like when Chanyeol got like crazy buff and I was like, okay, but enough.
But
like,
yeah, but
for real
don't.
though, too much. Like, I don't need you to be a Wonho.
Same note to every member of Monsta X. Knock it
off. Enough.
Knock it off.
You should not be bigger than Shonu when he gets out of the military.
But they're all like on their way.
I know. It's not acceptable. He gets out soon, so you need to tone it down.
All right, a least favorite thing about Tiffany. She's so loud. She's obnoxious and she embarrasses me. I still love her for it, but my God, she's so loud. For reference, Jessica's cover of Can't Fight the Moonlight featuring Tiffany's loud mouth. Girl needs to calm down sometimes.
Sometimes ladies are just loud, okay? Least favorite thing about Minhyuk of Monster X. Monster X.
See, it happens sometimes. That happened to me the other day.
I really like cucumbers, and Minhyuk hates them so much.
Yeah, conflict. I get it.
I also hate cucumbers.
But you would make a good pair because
you could always eat his cucumbers.
That's the olive theory from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
That in every relationship, one person has to like olives and one person has to hate them so that the olives always get eaten.
Exactly. Least favorite thing about RM, aka Kim Namjoon of BTS. His stage name was originally Rat Monster, which is like the stupidest stage name I've ever heard. Which is fair.
Yeah.
No, there's a worse stage name though, and I can't think of it right now, and I'm really sad that I can't think of it. What is the fucking stage?
Field Dog?
Field Dog!
Everyone hates Field Dog.
Field Dog is worse than Rat Monster, I think. I do think so. But Rat Monster's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
But it's like, I don't know, there's something about it that I think is really fun and funny. I know he's like grown out of it, but thinking about debut era BTS, I think it's great
like,
that someone's like, I'm Rat Monster!
Yeah. It is pretty funny.
Least favorite thing about Woo Young from ATEEZ? There are no least favorite things. Woo Young can do no wrong.
Let's hope that ages
well.
well.
I wouldn't put that out into the universe.
Another least favorite thing about Bang Chan, the fact that he's often overly grateful when in fact the other party doesn't deserve that gratitude, or he uses it to downplay his own contribution. I feel like that might come from the fact that he lived alone in Korea as a teenage trainee for 7 years. I was made to believe that no matter how hard he worked, someone higher up had to grant him everything career-wise. He couldn't just earn it by working hard enough.
Wow.
Whoa. Damn.
Yeah.
We are really digging into Bang Chan today. I hope he doesn't ever see this.
Yeah, don't watch this.
He's gonna leave with a complex.
Maybe he needs it. Maybe he needs the tough love.
I mean, according to these other stays, he needs therapy. His V-Lives aren't cutting it.
Yeah. A least favorite thing about B.I., he seems a bit shy and can be reserved. Fair enough.
It's funny because I know what picture came with B.I. and it's definitely not a shy one. Least favorite thing about Yuta of NCT, he seems to have come to a place of contentment with his public persona where he doesn't want to share much more about him personally, which makes it hard to connect as a fan. But I'm glad that he's decided that for himself and knows how to keep healthy boundaries.
That's totally interesting because I feel like it's not a least favorite thing about Mino, but it's a thing about Mino. We talked about it in his birthday episode that he's like so deeply private. Mm-hmm. And when all the other members of SHINee are like showing like their dirty bathrooms and stuff, like I've never seen a room that he lives in. Yeah. Nobody sees that. I'm like, I love it for him. Like, good for you for keeping your life separate. Sure. But as a nosy fan, I'm like, come on, I want to see stuff.
Totally.
This one is about Vivi from Luna. Sometimes I worry that she isn't confident enough in herself because she's a foreigner in Korea and hasn't been treated fairly by her company in terms of lines and focus within the group. But I and Orbits know how talented she is.
Hopefully now she can get more of a spotlight. Free. Nayeon of Twice. I don't have one. I don't have a really favorite thing about her either.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing is how preciously plump her cheeks are. I just want to bite them. You're so cute. Least favorite thing about Joshua of 17, the way that he always sings Sunday. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
I was like, that's not what it says.
Sometimes he seems to underestimate himself and get shy when speaking. Sir, do you know who you are? Sometimes he needs to be reminded, I guess.
Least favorite thing about Dio, his lack of social media crying emoji. I pay $4 a month for Bubble and just get crumbs. It's nice because he will respond to you sometimes, but sometimes I just wish he would do a solo live stream just once.
I feel like you're casting your chips in the wrong basket there for Dio. Yeah. I hate to tell you. Least favorite thing about Chanyeol. People dressing up their pets in dresses and such is just not it. I guess he does. I mean, maybe Tobin has a lot of outfits, but in Chanyeol's defense, that's his mom's dog. It's not his.
Yeah. He claims the dog, but that's not his dog.
It's not his dog. It doesn't answer to him at all, and it barely even knows who he is.
Least favorite thing about Mingyu. This is an interesting one. He's too popular and very possessive.
Yikes. Okay. Least favorite thing about Kai from EXO. I had the great pleasure of seeing Kai perform live, but in person that duality turned out to be deadly. 1 second he was grinning happily at the audience, then hip swivel and BAM! Sex god stage Kai. Turn around, happy peppy Kai. Hip thrust, stage Kai. Ah! You can't do that, Kai. You're gonna make people pass out. As someone who has seen Kai in person, Agreed.
It's all too much.
It's too much.
Least favorite thing about Sungyeon from The Boys, how he keeps teasing us about showing his abs and never does it. Ah!
Such a tease.
Yeah.
Least favorite thing about Hyunjae of The Boys, the way he uses this one perfect but cold facial expression for almost all his photos. He has range, but he doesn't show it. I love that.
That's very
Getting
fair.
your director side. Least favorite thing about Eunjiwon of Sekshki's. He has very weird sleeping habits. Look it up. You will find videos of him sleeping while sitting up. My theory is he has been traumatized by a lifetime spent on Korean variety shows with weird morning missions. Please let him sleep. Let all idols sleep.
Yeah, let idols sleep.
Hashtag
let idols sleep.
New magnet. Coming soon.
That's a good one. Least favorite thing about Taemin, terrible question to think about, but he does sometimes say strange things on camera. Like when he pointed out that Mino hadn't shaved on Weekly Idol. Like, let the man live. Stop being a little shit. That's his job.
It's what he does. Least favorite thing about Hyungjun of Gravity, every idol thinks he's cute too. He's out here making grown men swoon on national TV, and it's like, come on, Hyungjun, leave some for the rest of us.
He's too lovable. I can't stand it.
He's too popular.
Least favorite thing about Sana, quote, Sana is dangerous, Mina. She straddles the line between cute and sexy so closely that sometimes it's like flipping a switch and I'm not ready.
That duality, baby.
Mm-hmm. Least favorite thing about EXO Suho? None. I hope he's dating a red velvet. I'm just throwing in a little, not a hate, just a wish. People know that when we say things on our podcast or say things out loud, they come true. So I think everyone's just trying us now.
Trying to get us to say things out loud. I mean, I had a very elaborate theory when all of those Chanyeol rumors broke that I was like, this is just Suho leaking it to the press so that people stop paying attention to like Irene being mean to a stylist or whatever.
Because
like,
he loves red velvet too much.
Least favorite thing about Sehun of EXO. I'm sorry, but other than that, he's perfect. Idol/talent-wise, he's not the strongest. He's just the most handsome little annoying maknae, but EXO can easily do without. Also, have no clue what he's doing outside of EXO except fancy trips with men.
Called out.
Yeah, Sehun, what are you doing outside of EXO?
What do you do?
What are you doing?
Least favorite thing about Chen, can't deny that the sudden news of the girlfriend didn't hurt my feelings.
Oh.
It happens. I'm sure that was very shocking. Like,
Sure.
it was shocking. It was exciting and shocking, but like, yeah, I think it's brave of you to admit that it hurt you
your
a little
feelings. Yeah, certainly brave.
Least favorite thing about Dio, kind of the same thing as his favorite thing. He just doesn't give you that idol persona that you're used to. So even though it's really healthy for himself, it probably hurts his popularity as an idol with his resistance to engage in any kind of fan service.
Probably, but he's also always consistently been one of the more popular members of EXO, so it doesn't really seem to hurt his popularity.
Yeah, maybe
at
the
all.
mystery actually
yeah.
just adds to all of it. Because
And
he's hard to get. He's
Yeah,
playing hard to get with
exactly.
everyone.
People love that.
Least thing about Eve from Luna, she's stuck in the embattled Luna. Freedom for Luna.
Fist emoji. Least favorite thing about Hyunjae from The Boys. Okay, this is the second one about Hyunjae's face. He's terrible at photo shoot faces. Hyunjae is a beautiful person and looks great in candid or moving shots, but he pulls the same face in all his photo shoots, and it's honestly not very good. And it doesn't capture even an ounce of how gorgeous he really is or his playful personality crying emoji.
Wow. Solidarity in the Hyunjae fandom.
Hyunjae, practice your faces in the mirror.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I have this really beautiful, I love it, this Hyunjae card that I got at Choice, and it has 3 different pictures of him from, I think, the Thrill Ride album.
He's making the same face in every single
His
one.
mouth is just like a little bit open. Like bored. Like, so yeah, I get it. It's 3 different pictures, but it is the same picture. I now see that.
I see it. I'll never unsee it.
And lastly, our least favorite thing about DK from 17, or your least favorite thing. I said our, but in the royal way.
My least favorite.
Besides being a massive K-pop stan, I also love musicals and theater in general. Roughly 4 years ago, DK played Arthur in a Korean musical called Excalibur. Him being my ult, that makes me so happy. However, since then, he's done 0 theater, and unfortunately, I wasn't a carrot during Excalibur, so I didn't know that it happened until years later. I don't want him to overwork, that's much more important, but I think it would be really cool if DK did another musical.
I totally agree, and if you haven't already looked up all of the promotional photos from Excalibur, fucking do it, because his hair was long, and I don't know if it was a wig, but it was long and curly and black, and he had like the most gorgeous spattering of freckles over his nose. He looked stunning in all of those photos, and he's wearing like huge suits of armor and like holding a sword. He looks fucking badass and gorgeous. But yeah, 17's been really busy, so I'm not surprised he hasn't done any other musicals, but love a musical boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wonderful job, everyone, trying to find things that you don't like about your biases. I think you all did a very good job.
Absolutely.
And these were funny and introspective and psychoanalytical.
Yeah, some of them cut pretty deep, so yikes.
Hey, we hold the people we love to high standards.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We sure do. What is your least favorite thing about Chuhoney, your Monsta X bias?
Least favorite thing about Juhani? I think it's a similar, like, I don't like when he gets really hard on himself. And I feel like, yeah, that just, like, bums me out whenever he's, like, mopey and sad or, like, down on Juhani, because I think he's awesome. And the other thing I don't really like about him, he's outgrown a lot. He used to be just, like, much, like, angrier in his persona, but he's let that go a lot. So I like him squishy.
Yeah, fair.
Do you have a least favorite thing about let me grab another random bias from the bias meter. What are other groups whose albums are over there? Is there a thing that you don't like about
Yeah. Where do I begin? In a similar way to the things that drive me crazy about Mino, I think that Yuno's like drive and passion and ambition, he tends to be a bulldozer, like whenever you're working together. And so I feel like in the same way that Boa is like, look, I love Yuno, but I hate working with him. I feel like I would be a similar way of like, I am happy to be your friend, but if we have to actually collaborate to produce anything, I might murder you.
Yeah.
Like, that might, one of us will not walk out of this room, I think. So yeah, that's what I would like.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes I miss his old teeth.
Yeah, they were cute. They had
there's
character.
nothing wrong with a little bit of crooked teeth, okay? I think it's all right. I mean, your perfect veneer smile is pretty too, but I like a snaggletooth sometimes.
For sure. Well, thanks for tuning in to this second part of K-Pop The Cork Series 2. Next time, we will be reading what all of these people want to do with their bias, given the chance to spend a day with them. So,
yes. And I left it very open as far as like, if you wanted it to be a platonic outing, a romantic outing, an X-rated outing, it's up to you.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And come back, because next time we're going to open up that mushroom soju.
Oh boy! See you next time on K-Pop The Cork!